This is Francisco Martinez for the identification of business class, for electronic business class. And this is an interview with Allison Bell, that is our director in Harmon Hall, Lindavista branch, and the owner of the school. So thank you very much, Allison. You're very welcome. Thank you very much. I really appreciate this interview.
No problem.
Well, why don't we start, if you tell us a little about, well, how did you start here in Harmon Hall? How long have you been here?
I have been here 35 years.
35, wow.
I began as a teacher. Then I was asked to become director. The following year I was asked to become a shareholder. And within about 5 years I owned 50% of the school. Then I went on with the same company but to greener pastures, and I began doing regional trainings around the whole country of Mexico, which I enjoyed very, very much. And then I opened another school in a smaller town, which is doing very well. It's been in existence 22 years.
It's Harmon Hall Cuautla.
Yeah, exactly. And then we were having a little bit of a struggle here in the school, financially. The results were not the kind that the corporate office wanted, so I was called back to start running the business again, as they say.
Yeah, sure.
And from there I've been here.
Yeah.
So I've been here about 10 years when I stopped, 20 years since I stopped training.
You have seen a lot of things going on, I'm sure. Okay?
Many things.
Many things, yeah. I think that it would be very interesting to see, because, the class that I'm taking basically is how internet, computers, can change a business. Do you think that the way that you used to do the things before has changed somehow now? Now, what do we do here in the school that we didn't used to do before? And what we have stopped doing?
Yeah, things have almost been, I don't want to say 100% modified.
Yeah.
But, for example, before we began the use of computers to handle our database for students, we did everything by hand.
Yeah.
And it would take us 3 days to check, to make sure that we had every student in his place and had paid.
Okay.
That was all done by hand.
Wow.
Yeah, and we had at that time over 1,500 students.
Wow.
So that's why it would take us 3 days and 3 people to check that.
So a lot of human resources, a lot of time.
A lot of time.
Yeah.
And a lot of people,
Yeah,
as you
yeah.
say. However, it was the most efficient. As far as I'm concerned, it's the most efficient way that I've ever worked.
Oh, sure.
Doing it that way, because then in the 80s we went into the we had that computerized. We had all of that. Management was computerized. Payments were now registered in the computers. And the worst word that I could ever hear is glitch, okay? Because that just seemed to mess up everything in the control that I wanted to have. That's my only objection to technology, or the glitches, because it slows down everything. It makes carrying out procedure very, very difficult. But we live with it and we try to get through the glitches.
Okay.
Now, and in the 90s we had another change in formatting. It took about, I'm not kidding, it took about 3 years to iron out all the glitches in that program, and then it was really good. That was efficient.
Okay.
And we used that one for, boy, we must have used that one for at least another 10 years. And we are using one now that apparently doesn't have its glitches, apparently. And we've been using that one for, I'd say, going on almost 3 years now.
Yeah, sure. Intellisys is called. Yeah.
Intellisys, yeah. Which I don't. That's when I decided I'm done with that end, and I stick now to the academics.
Yeah, sure.
I also found, talking about technology going along with the academics, we started introducing video work with our students.
Yeah, that's fascinating because you have been well. I remember seminars where you tell teachers, when I started teaching, we didn't have this.
Yes.
Okay, so and that is another interesting progression. Our business basically is giving English classes.
Right.
So how has that changed?
The method itself has not truly changed.
Yeah.
What has changed are using more of the modern technology that's been used. Like I say, videos. We have them go to cyber center where they go and work with the computerized exercises that are coinciding with their lessons, or exercises where the teachers think they need more work on. We also have branched out where the coordinators within the school have organized their system, many of them, of being able to text, or teachers text them if there's an emergency or something like that, which has come in handy many, many times. And now what is in the works is to begin a course online that is in development. And because it's becoming a little popular here in Mexico now, there's 2 companies that I know of now that are advertising on TV. And we don't like to stay behind. We always like to try and stay ahead.
Sure.
Now they're kind of gaining up to us on that aspect, so they're working on having us give online classes.
Sure. Do you think that could ever substitute giving a class in a classroom with a live teacher?
Never.
Never. Why
I
not?
don't think so. Because, and I hope it never does, it's essential within the learning process. It's essential that a student can rely on his teacher for much more than knowledge. That he can rely on him for maybe solving a problem.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Feedback.
Helping him out.
Yeah.
And there's nothing like having a relationship with another person to learn something, not just some face on the computer.
Yeah, sure. It's because, for example, in our class, we were discussing that, for example, delivery is important. We were saying something like, if I buy a cake by internet, how are you going to deliver it to me? Mm-hmm. So it's like, okay, so you bought it, but how is the product going to arrive? In this case, it's education.
And are you going to charge me for the shipping?
That's correct. Yeah, that is an example that our teacher gave us. Let's say, okay, you bought the cake, but how are you going to deliver it? Yeah, sure. And so it applies here too. You bought the course, but how are you going to deliver it? And how are you going to make the product what you expect from it?
Okay, evidently that's the process they're working with right now.
Sure. And that is what we're working right now, no? That's one of the things. Sure. Okay, now another thing that probably you can tell us a little about, well, are we using the internet for giving a better connection to the client? Do we have, for example, like, I don't know, Facebook study, or do we have anything like that in Harmon Hall?
Well, yeah, we're on Facebook. In fact, I saw it the other day. I didn't know it, but somebody put us on Facebook, so I thought that was pretty good. We have our website.
Yeah, sure.
And this is basically used to substitute the phone book.
Yeah.
Okay. Because we don't pay for phone books anymore.
Okay.
So it's more tech-wise using the website.
Mm-hmm. So that people see the brand. Sure. Uh-huh.
They see the brand.
Okay, that's right. Okay, and well, so there's a way to there's a way that the client pays for the service.
Yeah. We were able to take advantage of this new system that started, and we started here in school to have credit card payments in the banks, and so you wouldn't have to handle any cash at all. And that's handled directly, and it's connected from, and it goes directly into our own database when the person pays with the credit card. So and that has really facilitated the days of payment.
Sure.
Because we used to have lines and lines. Now it's very, very easy because they just go to the bank and deposit it, and then we get the.
When we're talking about credit card payments online, also we're a school, so we handle students' names. We handle many times like telephones. That's a lot of personal information. So another thing that we discuss in our class is, well, are we having like a way to keep them secure because it's our clients' information?
Well, this started out, I believe, was the beginning of this year, if not last. And this is a law now here in Mexico, where each company has to have confidentially, I can't call it a clause, because it's not within a contract.
Sure.
It's almost a confidentiality letter that we as a company have to sign. And we have it posted here so that everyone can see that we are not allowed to give out any information. None at all. No.
That's correct. So, and also all our databases are encrypted, so they are secure.
That's right.
Okay, very good. Finally, I would like you to talk a little about something that is very special about Harmon Hall Lindavista that I think that you feel very proud of. That we are the only Harmon Hall branch that has TOEFL IBT. Can you explain to my class what's TOEFL IBT and why is it important?
Okay, TOEFL IBT is a computer-based exam.
Okay.
That foreign students need to take if they wish to study abroad.
Sure.
And I was asked about, what is it now, 10 years? All of the franchises were asked if they would like to be an IBT center. And I said, yeah. Wow. It turns out I was the only one. Okay. The other branches said no, it was too much of an investment. And at the time, it was.
Mm-hmm.
It was a big investment for the school. But I felt like this is something extra. This is something, this is a plus that my school can give.
Sure.
And over the years, I have always tried to have a plus for my school, okay? This school has been the #1 school for 35 years, and let's hope it continues for another 50 if we can.
Or more.
Or more. But I felt that this was really, really something that we could offer other people outside of our own students. Okay, because the process here is you can't sign up for this exam here.
Yeah, exactly. It's an internet process, 100%.
You have to go and do your application on internet, do your payment over the internet. All they do is they send us the dates.
Yes.
And they send us the candidates' names.
Yes.
But we're busy every Friday and almost every Saturday of the month, right? When we're giving people this advantage, because we are located in the north side of the city. I had never seen anything. I knew you could do it at the Benjamin Franklin Library. You could go to the embassy also applied it, but I knew of no school that applied it.
Yeah.
And so we went for it, and it's been great.
Yeah. Okay. Do you think that it pays off? It's a big investment, you said. So, does it pay off? Is it worth it?
Well, I think probably after 10 years, maybe the investment's been paid off. But to me, that wasn't really my concern.
Okay.
My concern was that it was something. It was an added plus that my school could give to the public.
Okay. That is something that we have discussed in class. Many times, e-business is not just a substitution of the big business. No, but you can develop both branches at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is an excellent example.
No, you should. I am very reluctant to change many things, but if it has anything that can do with making our product stronger and affordable in the sense that it's worth the people's time to come and study here. That I've always done for the past 35 years, and I will continue doing. The school always has to have a plus.
Yeah, that's what I want. I want to finish with that. That is exactly what I think that all the people that work here, that is how we feel, that we are special, and probably that's because of the vision, and the vision comes from you. I really appreciate this interview. I think that my classmates would like to know, and my teacher would like to know a little bit more about how we handle things here. Thank you very much for
That's okay.
I really appreciate it.
Tell them to invite me to Pittsburgh, and I'll be very happy to talk to them.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.